Okay, Cmax here. So you think you want to start reloading? Well, I did. I enjoy it. A couple things to consider. I'm going to briefly go over the things you need. But why do you want to reload? There's several reasons to reload and some reasons not to. The one that comes up the most is cost. Oh, I'm going to save money. Okay. You will under one condition. You have to shoot a lot. If you're going to buy all this stuff and reload 3 boxes of ammunition, that's going to be extremely expensive ammunition. But the more you load, the more you shoot. With every round, you start recouping, the price comes down. So that's one reason. Second reason, people do it, our recent ammo shortage. Oh, well, the government takes away all the ammo or makes it illegal, I'll be able to reload. True. If the blank hits the fan, I'll be able to reload. True. There's some, that's a valid reason. Another one is I can make better ammo than I can buy. And that is certainly true, especially in precision rifle rounds. These guys that shoot long range, they don't go to Walmart and buy, ammunition. They really reload their own, and they go to extreme lengths in consistency in all aspects of the reloading for accuracy. And testing. Oh well, two more 0.2 grains of powder gives me much better bullet trajectory than this does. A lot of experimentation, a lot of reloading back and forth. Another reason, it's fun. It's a hobby. Shooting's a hobby. Well, this is connected with shooting, but it is totally its own thing. Can be very therapeutic. I find myself over there and I've got a big bin full of brass and I'm just sizing away on it, or it's fun. To me, it's very rewarding to make your own ammunition. Boom, wow, I made that. You take it to the range, boom, it works good. Then you have to see, well, how fast is it going? All that comes later, but it's a lot of fun. Now, a couple things that do help out with the reloading. One, you need to be a little bit mechanically inclined. You need to measure stuff, you need to weigh stuff, you need to do some simple, basic mechanical processes. The reloading, actually seating the bullet, that's a mechanical process. So any kind of aptitude there is definitely beneficial. Need some attention to detail. That's pretty easy. It just kind of comes naturally for me with it. I don't think many people have a problem with it. You load all these 50 rounds in the loading tray. Well, take a flashlight and look down in each one and make sure one doesn't have a lot more than the other does, because things can happen. It's all about quality control. Another thing that you're going to have is time. It takes time to do this. As you can see, I don't have one of these, progressive presses, and I can pump out 1,000 rounds in an hour and a half kind of thing. I'm not there yet. I recommend you start out with a single stage press, like the big one on the right front corner of the loading bench there, because even if you get a progressive press, they're pretty much only for pistol ammunition, maybe some small rifle, but you're still going to have a single stage press for precision, big caliber weapons. So why not get it first? That way you can find out what you like, and then when you drop the dime for the big progressive system, you'll know exactly what you want. I don't see why anyone would go right into a progressive press who doesn't have any experience. That kind of doesn't sit well with me. But real quick, you're looking at what we need. You need somewhere to do it. Loading bench. I've seen people make them out of anything. I've seen people take closets and use a shelf. I've seen them take the little folding workmates and make a mobile one. It really doesn't matter. You just have to have a platform. Gonna need a press. I have 3. I have the main press. I bought the small Lee one just for decapping. I started out with just the big red one there on the corner, and then I thought, well, I saw the Lee press was like $30. I was already ordering some other stuff. I was like, what the heck? I can always, if I find one that's wrong, I can resize it real quick and keep the other die set for what I'm doing on the bulk part of it. Then a good friend of mine gave me this old Lyman. I think this press here was discontinued in about 1969. I can't find any heads for it, but I have the one head and it works well. I've got belling or flaring, like I like to call them, dies and seating dies for 3 different pistol calibers in it, 9mm, 40, and 45. I do the sizing on the big red one there, and if I want to, you know, just decap ahead of time, of like, yeah, maybe I want to take some rounds and knock the primers out and then put them in the tumbler, well, I would use the little lead press over there on the side. All right, what else do you need? You need a way to dispense powder. You'll see a couple powder measures up there. When you do that, you got to double check it against a scale. I've got electric scales. I have the balance magnetic dampening, which is super accurate, and I use it mainline. I hardly ever use the little electronic one there. It's nice, but I just like the old balance scale. It just makes me feel like it's more accurate. Another way to maybe start out and do it cheaper are the lead dippers. Let me swing this around here and zoom in a little bit on it. You know, pardon the mess there. Lead dippers. I think that whole pack cost about 10 bucks. They've got the thing you see in the back says Lee on it is actually recommended. You know, this scoop of this powder holds approximately this amount of, you know, powder. So you can use it to reload and start off with. A lot of people do it. You know, I actually haven't used it, but it's there and some people do. You're going to need powder. You can see it over there. I've got a couple of different powders and primers. Of course, you're going to need brass. So tell your friends, keep that brass, pick it up from the range. That's one of the most expensive parts of the ammo. If you're buying brass, you're really not going to save a lot. But if you're reusing brass, that's the biggest part. You'll need bullets. You're going to need the sizing dies. Those are things, the silver things you see sticking out of all the different presses. You're going to need bins. You're going to need knickknacks and doodads and eye protection and magnifying glass, and it kind of grows from there. You got to have a way to lube the cases. Even if, you know, you can buy carbide dies, but I lube them anyway because they just feel better in the press, although technically you don't have to do it. I'm a little old school. I'm used to the old regular dies. Another thing that I don't see a lot at on these videos, I've looked, is fire extinguisher. You know, we are dealing with gunpowder, and even though it's not explosive, that's right, the pistol rifle ammo of today is not explosive, but it's flammable. It'll burn, and it'll burn with enthusiasm. So not having a fire extinguisher around where you're doing all that just doesn't make sense to me. And of course, do not smoke anywhere around it. That's just stupid. But you know, anything else you'll just run across, you need calipers. Let me swing around on that. You can see it in the lower left there, but you know, you need the calipers. You need to measure the overall length. I've got electronic and just the old analog dial calipers. The electronic ones are a lot easier to read, a lot easier to deal with, but they both work. You need reloading books. You know, I've got an old Spear, I've got an old Hornaday, and I've got a new Lyman. Plus, I chronograph as well, so I'll load test rounds. Say, you know, I'm gonna load 40 caliber. Well, I'll load about 20 of each weight, and I'll start out at say 3.2 grains. Then I'll go 3.4, 3.6, 3.8, 4, 4.2, 4.4, just depending on how many I want to load, what am I trying to achieve. And then I test them all. Figure out what I want to do. I do not load hot rounds. That is dumb. If you want to shoot something hot, just shoot factory rounds. You need the brass anyway. You know, lighter loads, the brass lasts longer, the gun lasts longer. You typically could shoot better. You know, these competition shooters, they're not shooting factory ammo, they're loading all their own ammo. So it's a lot of fun, can be very therapeutic. Another way you have is how to prime. Some of the presses will prime. What I mean by prime is putting a primer in it, brand new primer. I use a handheld one. I use ones made by RCBS. Excellent company, as is Hornaday and Dillon and just about all of them. You can see it, that green thing right there. That is a universal. And I like it for a couple of reasons. I like the feel of the way the primer seats. I can feel it in my hand. You lose some of that in the press. It's much faster. I can prime 100 rounds, gosh, if I'm really jamming on it, in 5 minutes. It just goes boom, 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 real quick. Plus, I get away from the press. You get tired standing there doing everything, so I'll take them. I'll get in front of the TV for a few minutes and knock out primers, and then come back and do that. But there's so many different products out there, so many different ways to do it. It's really up to you. If you have any questions, please email me. I will respond to the emails. You'll see that I don't have comment sections open. From seeing all these YouTube sites, they're just people just put hateful, nasty stuff out there for no reason whatsoever. Like that's just the mark of our society nowadays. So email me with question, comment, suggestion. I will respond, but that's why the comment section is not on. Hope you like this. I'm going to start a reloading series, shorter videos, real simple, step by step by step. So there'll be a bunch of videos, but short. And we'll get into more detail with what I do, how I do it, what I've done to try to cut costs as we go. So please subscribe and like. Have a great day.